Hello, RPG Limit Break fans. My name is Dathis. Where is my vanilla Tamar? And I am joined by Zoe. This is my ninja in the background. Love having them around with me, Vermilion. How's it going this evening, Joey?
I don't think I got that reference, but
Main ninja in 14.
Oh, that reference. Okay, yeah, no, I do main ninja. You're right. It took me a second. I'm doing well. How about you, Dathis?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic this afternoon, and really excited to see this round of the bracket stage, the intro opening brackets as we have here, because we have a large field that we need to cut down to. I believe it's our top 32 for our full brackets. As you see here, we have the 29th seed versus the 36th seed, ch4osh4des and xalde. Really excited, mostly about these lovely bonus objectives. Although number 5 hits a little sorely.
Yeah, that happens. I know my thoughts go out on that one. But yeah,
So,
this is it.
5. It's 5. Any reference there?
Yeah, 5. Yeah. Anyway, you're absolutely right. This is the opening round. ch4osh4des versus xalde. Going to be a great race. Xalde is up 1-0 in this best of 3. The winner of this best of 3 is going to go on to the round of 32 to face off against some guy named ch4osh4des. Oh, never heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard, couches out there or something. I don't know. It's just relaxing. That's all I remember about couches.
Seems like a pretty comfy matchup, one way or the other.
I mean, all the comfort I can ask for. The comfortness, though, might be a little bit different here because we are now in a new set of flags. But the originals that we still have our base 3 objectives that we see towards the Adamant, complete Cave Magnus, and Pigtail. Today we have a pair of boss hunts instead of character hunts to go around. So we have a fair amount of places to go, but not a lot of places to sell things. Zoe, would you mind going on about the new flags since you're still kicking around in this round?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you said, not going to be selling much or anything. Everything's going to sell for 0 GP. So sell is basically just a good way of getting stuff out of your inventory. It's faster than using the trash can. One other big change is, even though that objective number 1 still says have Cookall Forge Legend Sword with Adamant, that is now Classic Forge, which means you'll not be getting that nice free Excalibur. Instead, an Excalibur has been added into the reward pool of our key items and other treasures. And when you go to turn in objective 1, Cookall just says, I'll just keep it, and go about your way. I'm personally hoping that these 4 and 5 turn into vanilla objectives. Just go do Antlion Nest and defeat the King of Monsters, because that would make us both very happy, I imagine.
Absolutely. You know what we're both here for. And also, we would like to see that nice hidden boss hunts. We haven't seen too many required giants, and with 2 boss hunts, both of them being up there would be very entertaining. Although another entertaining part would be the fact that we have one of the most utilized and most thankful characters to see in these seeds is Sid. The Sid start is really strong with that dwarf kit.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have a dwarf kit anymore.
Wait, what?
We start with a money kit, which gives you between 20,000 and 80,000 GP, as well as I can't remember the exact name of the kit, but it gives you some Thor Rages, some Star Veils, some life potions, and then a grab bag kit with a bunch of random stuff.
So you was in that kit though?
That was an Earth Hammer, so that's really nice. We don't get the instant. Yeah, don't get the instant back row that we were guaranteed. We don't get the strength ring that we are guaranteed, but we do get a random assortment of items. Sometimes it's nice, and you get an Earth Hammer to go with your Sid start. And along with this Rosa, this is one of the friendlier starts that I've seen in this flag set. I've been practicing a lot of brackets, and sometimes that grab bag kit has nothing in it, and you start with Eddie DKC, and you're just like, all right, cool, what do I do?
No kidding, right? Though the really nice thing about this as well is you said all that. I think I saw 58,000 GP there, so that's a pretty solid amount. And if we do happen to find a cane early on, that defense sword that our starting item was, that's going to be put to some great use. So, I mean, he is a character that's very middling, but we've got characters that, again, are both very middling, starting with some really good gear.
Yeah, absolutely. That defense sword, a cane would go a long way of using that. Even a Cecil, it's not a holy sword, but it still hits pretty hard. Love to have that on a on a paladin. Power staff there. Yeah, so the 0 GP at a chest is going to be because we have Cell 0 on. Normally when you have what we call junk items, which are like your really like Cure 1s, your Spear, stuff like that, you don't receive those to clog up your inventory. You just get what they sell for. Well, they don't sell for anything under this flag, so you're just going to get 0 GP out of your chests.
True suffering. I love it. But yeah, as we see that a whole lot of money, I mean, as you mentioned, that power staff, that's going to make this Sid with that Earth Hammer and Berserk, he's going to be a pretty strong powerhouse in this early set of the game. We have both runners kind of doing the same thing. Chaos also managed to do a little bit of watery pass looting, did find some charm arrows, which for Rosa, if we find a bow with her, really, really solid as an overall.
Yeah, and that bow, if we can find one, will allow us to back row this Sid as well, which along with that Earth Hammer is going to be pretty nice. Looks like xalde is going to go ahead and check and see who our Hobbs character is. With this setup, you know, I think you got to be hoping for that Kane, maybe hope for a Tella. Tella's really strong for the utility spells, also getting access to exit to make it out of stuff like Antlion Nest faster. Or even a DKC, just so you can have a bit more power looking towards the end game.
Even the White Mage, though, is that what you're looking for?
You know, I don't hate it. Early Porum, if you can happen to stumble across like a Artemis bow from a key item spot or a Heron robe from a random chest, then Rosa can become an archer and Porum can continue to heal. And worst case scenario, if you come across a Palom somewhere, you got access to twin magic. But as we get further into the seed, Porum is kind of at the top of my list of characters I would just go ahead and bench in favor of basically anybody else but Edward.
No, I super agree. She has great uses. If you go in for a pure reflex strat eventually, she can kind of pay the piper there, which is pretty solid. Which, if we find Oops All Mages, is going to be a really big thing. But we do see those guards up there. Normally can be kind of annoying, but that Gaia drum we got from our starting kit just says, nah, peace out, we'll do this later. And the nice thing is, the sooner you use these J items, the better, because they lose a lot of their value once we get later on the seed. So burn them fast, burn them early, and have no regrets.
Yeah, get them out of your inventory, because your inventory is going to get clogged because we're not selling stuff, and you know, a Gaia drum is going to basically one-shot bosses here early on, and it's not going to do much on the moon. Nice self-summon if we do happen to find Iridia, and we got a bonus round.
That is a really actually nice place to find the Demon. If we had found it in another spot, this could have been a very punchy boss and a lot of HP in a long fight.
Yeah, we love to see this early. Going to give us double key item checks, one by virtue of clearing Antlion Cave, Antlion Nest, whatever you want to call it, and another from going and saying hi to Iridia's mom back in Mist. I imagine we could also probably check the weapon or armor shop there, maybe see if we could find a bow or even a curse string. But also, value, yeah, that's a legend sword that is one half of our #1 objective. You love to get that off the board, on the board early. Words have meaning, Zoe.
The only way that this could be even better is if we get either like the hook behind D-Mist or like any other objective, because that would make this place hard required. And I don't know, there's a person or two in the community that I don't know who they are. There's a bunch of numbers that don't really enjoy this location, so they would have been very unhappy to find that news out later.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're referring to Ultimate God Slayer, and yeah, he absolutely doesn't much care for it. Chaos Hades though is gonna go give us a peek of Waterfall Cave. Even though we found bonus round, we're still looking for 2 bosses, and that's an Asura, so not the summon that you want to find, because we're looking for Leviathan, but nice that she's out of the way. She's nasty later on in the seed.
Yeah, as we've mentioned, punchy bosses and punchy locations and high HP all make for very, very bad times. Though Spot there, just you know what, she can keep training under the water, have herself a lovely shower, and just go with the flow for the next little bit. Well, we have Hades going and redrawing steps and going to pick himself up that forum. Whereas xalde does happen to find the Legend Sword, and I wonder who's going to give us the peek first.
Yeah, sure we'll find out shortly. xalde's going to go ahead and grab this chest up here. Just another 0 GP. Chat had pointed out though when we got that forum, and I'd be remiss not to mention it, that getting her early is actually pretty nice because she gets native access to exit, whereas Rosa does not, and she also gets Berserk a little bit faster than Rosa does as well. So you really want to maybe run into something nasty on a nasty hook route here, if you want to have your Rosa be your healer because she has the better will stat, and then your Palom or your Porm to be your kind of utility mage, she can fill that role pretty nicely.
Oh, true. She does provide a lot of. Oh man. Well,
boy,
that's a free character, and that's a darkness crystal, nice and early.
Yeah.
That's something you do like seeing.
I hate seeing that. I hate seeing that.
I mean, I absolutely do too. I have some very much flashbacks of another tournament that comes up the second I see an early darkness crystal.
I despise early darkness. I am full on team #NeverMoon. I will do as much as I can on the earth. And the earlier you get that darkness crystal, the more likely that strategy is going to lose me a race. But you're absolutely right. That is a character. It is a gated character, so it can be Fu or it can be Edge. It also allows us, if our runners choose to, because we are in a double boss hunt, maybe you want to take a peek at that Cave Bahamut boss, see if it's going to be your Antlion or your Leviathan. If it's your Antlion, you hate to see that because it's an incredibly punchy location. If it's Leviathan, you actually feel pretty good about that because that spot is not very particularly magic, like the magic power there isn't very high, and Leviathan doesn't punch. So Leviathan and Bahamut spot is glorious.
Just be a long fight at this current point. Although, additionally, as we've seen in some other areas, people would go run to the moon and say, "Oh, let's go check some item shops." I believe we evolved to the ch4osh4des flag, meaning that the only place we were going to find sirens is in Coal Shop now. Correct?
No, we're actually still on S standard. I forgive you for getting that wrong because I did too. When I first started playing brackets, I was like, "What are these hourglasses doing in the shop? What?" We are still on S standard. We are on T Pro, but the kind of trade-off is because we have Cell 0, we can't just load up on those high-value J items. You still have to be very picky about what you purchase.
Speaking of picking what you purchase, we do find a very hotly contested as we see Zald hovering over Adi.
You gotta take it. Yeah. Elven Bow, you're gonna get huge value from being able to back row your Sid. You're gonna get mage weakness to exploit against something like a Maga Sisters. Unfortunately, we have already seen 2 of the 3 bosses that are fully mage weak. The only others being Maga Sisters and the Ruby form of Elements have the mage bit, but it's still just a really, really good bow, like the 3rd best bow in the game.
Yeah, which again, a really solid pickup there. Very much worth the investment of money, especially if you have a Rosa alone. Though we do have a little bit of urgence. We have ch4osh4des going and getting a Magma Key from the defense, the blue defense, knocking away Dr. Luggage. So this is a seed that is wide open. Pick your poison. Where are you going today?
Yeah, this is spicy. ch4osh4des now has access to the underground. Zald getting paid off here, gets a Moon Ninja, which is what I hope to be come 6.0. But I think I don't know if Zald found, there was a middle sword that ch4osh4des found in Watery Pass. I don't know if Zald has found anything for this edge, but just by virtue of being able to steal stuff like Bacchus Wines or Sirens, Edge has a huge amount of utility in this flag set because we just mentioned that your money is very limited.
I was just about to say, so we were talking about the limitedness of the money. That is actually a point where because you now are fully open, you could go underground. You could go take this Edge with this Sid, who also has this Earth Hammer, which does bonus damage to machines, and you could just go and steal yourselves a couple of Sirens right now. You have next to no characters. Agility is a spot where it's like, hey, just go, and you could load up on everything you need. Don't have to worry about money for that, and again, hopefully you get a tier 7 item in the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely a play. I'd probably wait until I had someone who maybe the levels are a bit more important on, like a Black Mage or a Yang, just because right now nobody in this party is really going to benefit that terribly much from levels. We're really just hurting more for gear. But Zald is going to take a peek at this Cave Bahamut boss, also do a little bit of looting, finds a nice karate shirt. Normally we don't think twice about those, but in this flag set, when you start with C Naked, you can't afford to buy as many black belts as you want. You love it. That's a Mylon variant.
Yeah, unfortunately, purple robe. Although the information on which one this is kind of important, so I do agree.
Yeah, I agree with peeking this.
If you're resetting out anyways, you might as well take a look and see what the boss is. But Hades does find himself another fun boss. We have Rydia guarded first by Baigen, a nice spot to see them. The second boss here is going to be the really big question.
Yeah.
We have Mylon Zed there, and we have a purple robe. Is it?
It is Water Hag.
It is the
No, it's the
gauntlet.
gauntlet.
Oh,
that is one location where the delay doesn't seem to happen. I was thrown off by that. I tried to metagame it and I failed. Gauntlet here is gonna be slow, but we have an Earth Hammer. Just have to pay attention that Elect Fish are flying, so don't try an Earth Hammer or Elect Fish. But yeah, no, Mylon and friends there on the Bahamut spot. That's the Mylon you didn't want to see there. Mylon Zed is incredibly punchy, but if you find something like a Moon Veil or a Cecil that can cover with like a Wizard Hat or a Crystal Shield, then you don't have to worry about it. But
no, that's a little unfortunate. Though we'll die quickly. Berserking a mob is not what you want to see.
especially when it's
especially when it get hit twice. Not a good time. Although the really nice thing about this spot, this is normally a 0 XP spot. So
yes.
Getting this XP on this Porum, giving it to this Rosa, Xalde, very lucky to get Edge a little bit bonus XP and using Flame to get through these fights. This is a spot where you actually are very thankful to find this spot, because this is bonus XP. Not really the squad you're looking for, but definitely something. Also, that Drain Sword, really, really good for this edge you're throwing.
Yeah. One thing that's going to be interesting here is we do have this Rydia. So now the idea of maybe grabbing a couple of Sirens to pop from some experience once you get underground is more viable. But also, I know one of these runners found a self-summon in Antlion Cave, but I can't remember which one it was. And whoever it is, yeah, he's going to have a little bit more offensive firepower coming out of this.
And Hades finding the really bad part about this is trying to keep a front row Porum up against mobs that just like to punch over and over and over again. So using a couple of those life potions, Fort AI just doing work, man. As it is, I think.
Yeah,
he's got, you know what? I will get XP on you somewhere else.
Yeah, at some point you just got to go. No, sorry, you're just not getting it here.
Like, fine, I will just use this Earth Hammer, and we will just not cry when we see the flying fish. Right
here.
There
we are. All right, so here's... Yeah, no, I have to wonder if Chaos Hades is aware, because obviously, FU players, we know a lot about the bosses and their stuff. Sometimes we get thrown off by gauntlet enemies, and I have to wonder if he knew going into this that, oh yes, Elect Fish are flying for some reason.
You're gonna learn today. I know the perfect reason why Elect Fish are flying.
It's because they're not grounded?
No, it's because they have the electromagnet around them. They cause themselves to levitate.
Ah, okay.
Look, that's my headcanon anyways.
I like they're not grounded. Also, Xalde caught up by quite a bit. They're going to be exiting this gauntlet at about the same time.
Yeah, the nature of having this edge check. So technically they're about even in checks, although Hades is ahead in that Magna key item. Definitely probably why Xalde came here as opposed to going into the pool. Everyone loves to try and do the single dip. It's the best thing to see here. But yeah, the fight following the 2 Elect Fish into the 3 right afterwards is not a fun time.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, got the change row. You need to maybe get a curative off if you have one. Uh-oh.
Well, oh no, he probably would have wanted to do that on the Porum, because now this Rose is in the front row.
Oh no. I can't watch.
This is the unfortunate part. If you take advantage of some early spots, like, yeah, your team is really solid, but again, this one extra body, like, you see how much this Edge is just putting so much work in. Like, yeah, he's got about the same HP as the Sid, if not less, but it's the fact that you can then throw Sid in the back row, and it's just another body to absorb all these hits.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. That was on the fourth of the 5 encounters. Now we're going to find out if this pays off with just the Rydia, or if there's value in this key item here, because maybe Chaos Hades decides, okay, I'm just going to consider Baron in a lost cause, and if this is a Womp on Xalde's side, then maybe it's a wash. Maybe it doesn't matter.
The only thing I would probably say would be maybe the spoon or something along those lines. X cow.
Okay, that is currently Schrodinger's value, because we can't sell it. We can absolutely throw it with Edge to get through a particularly tricky fight, but until Cecil shows up, we don't actually know how useful that is.
With an Edge, I call that a solid 6 out of 10 usefulness. Again, as you said, you get to throw it around the boss, knock that down right there. So there is that option. But yeah, throwing yourself summon. Interestingly, not using that Odin summon. You're not selling it for any money at this point. Use it. Maybe find a couple of other free bosses. There are still, think about 3 or so more out there that you could use that on.
I'm actually on board with not using it. The amount of times I've used the Odin summon in this tournament has literally been one time, and it was on a fight I didn't actually know it was going to work on. It was something in an alt gauntlet that I didn't think was actually vulnerable to Odin. But yeah, you can't sell it, but it actually takes like 5 seconds to use a summon orb. Like, for some reason, the jingle that plays and then the menu waiting for that to close takes a long time. And so if you're not going to use it, maybe just don't spend the time to do it. I don't know. Maybe that's what Zal's thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, there are many thoughts behind it, and again, every runner has a different option of what they want to do with it. It's like, this is free, this is something to use, this is something you just kind of toss away. I like the option of the more utility you can have that you're even not using. I'm better to have it, not need it, than need it and not have it. But we do see Chaos coming up, going to be getting this Moon Ninja, Xalde getting out the Magna Key here. So while we're doing a little bit of backtracking, I want to give a big shout out to those who are currently working behind the scenes, just so that you and I can kind of gab up here. We got Skull Kitty rocking that restream, and we have Judge Infinius who's doing our tracking. Fabulous people. Make sure to give them a big shout out and a big follow, because they do the hard work while we kind of just get the faff about here, really.
Double metal swords. It just takes some time. Little Edge, you're in the middle of your equipment scaling. I don't know, that got away from me very quickly.
I like what you did there, and I approve of it, but hopefully with this, it's going to take that pain away from wiping to that alt gauntlet. Also going to be checking to see some of the lovely fun things that are up here. Cure 3's kind of what you like seeing. The mute bells, not really needed, but if we find some mage killer weapons, maybe we see some grind on the warlocks. Oft not seen, but still very much used grind, which is fantastic. Xalde, though, also has the world to his oyster, fully open up and down, while Chaos Hades is going to be going and finding Mylon Zed.
Not Zed, that's in Friends. Zed is by himself. Mylon has friends.
Oh, this is Mylon and friends up here? I thought it was
this is in Friends. Xalde, though, now has his Magna Key. Gonna check these shops. And then at this point, you've got Ordeals, which is 3 bosses, and you need 2 bosses in your objectives. So there's value to be had there, as well as the key item check. Or if your Magna Key, maybe you just decide to go underground.
So we all are always a big proponent of check your objectives and check your freebies, and knowledge is king. So if you went underground, checked your freebie, and got a good key item from there, maybe you can go and do all of the rest of Fabul in one shot. But yeah, I agree with up here. This is nice. This is easy. You get a couple more levels on your Rydia. So it's anything to scoff at for some bonus XP. Get Porum closer and Rosa both closer to that Berserk level, so you can just Berserk up Sid and Edge, and really just get your team online for that underground round, because you've got a very middling power team. You've got Edge with some okay equipment. You've got Rosa with actually overall really solid equipment for what you've got here. There is that one bonus Siren that you can pop when you get underground if you want to give Rydia some XP. So they're in a nice middle stage. They're set up for success, but they just need those little extra bonuses.
Yep. And another free fight. This is going to be Officer Soldier, because we've already seen Baron Guards. All of the free fights just coming out of the woodwork here early. This is going to be fairly textbook. Chaos Hades, however, heading over to Agert, gonna check the item shop. Maybe you check the armor shop if you're really desperate for a cursed ring, but imagine we're going to be tossing that magma key down the Agert well, causing a disproportionately sized explosion from the size of what I assume the key is, and we'll be on our way underground.
Absolutely, and as we were talking about that Odin, this would have made it just a quick one turn and slice, dice, and egg julienne fries. But
if it landed,
this is true. We did have a Lilith rod though, and I'm pretty sure the magic defense. Oh, we have a sparkle.
What?
This is kind of rude. This is deceptively rude.
Yeah, no, my thought is always, oh man, it's just plague, and then I remember, oh, this is back attack. Back attack plague is terrible. I think I would be darting that defense sword.
I'd be very tempted to actually dart the X-Cal.
Yeah, there's this spot. You start off already like 4 ticks down. Luckily, had the Kamikaze. Has Berserk to get this Rosa with the arrows up, but you may actually tick down before he gets a second count off here.
Oh, very lucky.
Very close.
Yeah, this is where you get to like the really scary part of this. Rydia putting out virus level of damage, gonna be really good. If Horm can get another Berserk off on Edge, I think Xalde's gonna be okay on this fight. But this is one of those very deceptive fights that you just are not ready for, and you think you are.
Yeah, trying to take down the Edge again. I think honestly, between the Sylph damage, the Kamikaze damage that you got out from the Edge initially, and the arrows you're pumping out, I think you probably could kill before this ran out here. But opting to go the safe route, and I have to commend that.
Yeah, it never hurts to be safe and sorry. As we do see, we saw Sid go down. So I mean, that's a free life potion right there. Can't argue with that.
That's free timing. That's free timing right there.
Yeah, and goes down. A character you don't mind not getting XP on, because I really foresee the Sid being your anchor in the long run.
Did we get a vanilla rat tail? Well, I wasn't looking.
You know what? We absolutely did. That is delicious. I am here for it. Scala pandering to you and I'm so okay with this.
do the vanilla dance in my chair.
Absolutely, the vanilla dance, the vanilla cheer, and I'm really excited to see who this third boss guarding is. Also, the question is, are we going to get our second dose of vanilla with a Leviathan here? Because we know where Asura is, but are we going to have vanilla Leviathan in a very unhappy spot?
No, but that's a water hag. So this water hag, if you heal up and you have a good agility setup, you could probably take this, especially because we start with 10 Thor Rages, and 3 Thor Rages will do this. However, right next to that water hag, that's kind of nasty.
Yeah, you're not doing that for a hot minute. I'm so excited for that to be required though, but that's not a fight you're gonna want to take. That is a lot of HP. That is really fast, and that's probably one of the grossest places to find Valvalis without a cane anywhere. Although on the opposite side, we see a boss that we don't mind seeing here. We have ourselves an Antlion in the throne.
That's objective 4.
Putting characters down, so we do have a nice required objective here. Value up and Hobbs, or up and Ordeals, so don't sleep on making paladins.
Yeah, and if we get, let's see what we got, the pass here, so we got extra value on top of an objective. You'd love to see that.
Absolutely, and we do see Chaos Hades on hit 2 of 3, so this is going to be very tight. Still has 2 characters left.
Just hold A. Just hold A.
Also, alternatively, if you do wipe here, there is the option of going and grabbing some of those illusions that are in the shop here.
Oh, so close.
So close, right there. If you go and grab those illusions, you can make that fight.
This is, it looks like Edge had missed. This is why I suggested using the Thor Rages. They don't miss.
Wait, hold on. Edge can miss?
Yep. He's not back row glitched, and he was in the back row.
Oh, that is definitely a problem. I just throw him in the front row, then just pray. He's taking one shot anyways.
Yeah. I thought maybe with being in the back row and maybe having full HP that they could have survived, but one hit. I had my math incredibly wrong, and that was not the case. Yeah, I would just lean on Thor Rages here. Don't even try using your attack command.
Yeah, especially now with him in the back row, it's you just do what you can. Taking the gamble again though, just holding A. If it hits, we got one hit.
That's one hit.
And Edward must be strong. But yeah, we have Xalde getting through there, coming on down, and is throwing the Magnet Key down the well. Going to be joining Underground. Pretty sure we're going to see another vanilla rat tail be picked up shortly. But the area that they can go is gigantic.
We should be clear on this water hag. Should be able to get. There we go. Yep.
Swing. Bang, there goes. XP on 2 characters. Rose is very happy to see that. You have your double burst casters now. That's really all you need. The real reward was the Baron Key along the way, though. That is another chain key item. That is another character check. That's another 3 bosses, actually. One that we saw at the beginning, who I already forgot.
I've already forgotten too.
And 2 additional ones.
I only remember if it's important. When it's not important, I don't care.
I mean, it could have been important. We could have just kind of been like blanking because we were still discussing the flags, and I distracted you with the lack of knowledge I have.
quite possibly. You're more knowledgeable than you give yourself credit for, though. But ch4osh4des is going to clean up the looting here. Fights in a Zero summon. That's not too bad. We have 2 white mages, so it's not super important. But there are strategies where having a Zero on Rydia for Zeromus is a nice 66% chance of a Zeroed victory. Yeah, a Zeroed victory. Actually, that was not intentional.
I love it. Although Xalde does spend some money on a very important item, we do have coffins here in Tomra, so that is
a nuclear equipment operation technician, I think is what that was.
That is a lot of words there. That is a great job to have. But yeah, that coffin means that we're going to get an absolute free egg. Just go and pop, and then you're going to be good to go. And then refund and don't stop.
I'm going to take us on a tangent here real quick. What is your favorite job dwarf that you've seen, excluding the Z Sprite, but like when you're talking to job dwarf, what's the favorite job that he's given you?
Oh man, I think professional speechwriter was one of my favorites, just because this is like, that's an actual like really interesting job that I'd like to see.
My favorite I actually got the other night, which was I am a farm manager, and it was just nice because it means he got promoted.
That's awesome.
I was like, oh, good for you, job dwarf. You got promoted from farmer to farm manager. Good job. You worked so hard.
Yeah, now he runs the farm as opposed to working on it. Maybe he's got the kids. They've all grown up. It's been a few years since Final Fantasy IV first came out.
It's been 30 years.
Yeah, it's not when we think about that meme. It's like, oh, it's Final Fantasy 20 years ago. It's actually Final Fantasy X, by the way.
Yep.
And that's how we all love this game. But we do have Xalde trailing on Hades' feet, getting the checks down here, and we have Chaos going up and going to give us a look at what's here in Dwarf Castle. Still looking for... Oh, there's the elusive sirens.
Spending a lot. Yeah, spending a lot there. That one's interesting. You spend a lot to get those sirens. You could steal them. Ooh, nice black belt find. That's very, very good value. Gonna let your edge or your Sith hit a little bit harder. But you could just as well steal those, but then you're trying to balance time versus money. You could save the money. You could save the money, but then you have to spend time to steal them later. So it's an interesting dilemma. The Chaos is going to go ahead and heal here at Dwarf. Gotta wonder, does he maybe try and take this down here, or is he prepping to go to tower?
I think with what you've got here, you've got more than enough power to take care of the bosses here. Did get through that other fight, so does have Berserk on both Rosa and Porum, so could just Berserk up the Berserkers and then give Rosa a bit of love. But no, is healing and gonna go back to Baron Inn, the place that has scorned me, which I don't disagree with because, we're dropping a save here?
Okay, so it looks like maybe dropping a save We'll be checking Sheila 1. I didn't see the setup for Sheila 1, but maybe I was distracted.
There was a setup for Sheila 1. I do like this because, again, if nothing's there,
you can save scum out of it. Yeah, I love it.
I'm really excited. I'm hoping that this is another vanilla pan right here. That would make me very happy. Although I'm actually going to call my shot right now. It's going to be reverse Sheila. This is going to have the spoon right here.
I'm calling Artemis arrows.
Ooh, good call. I like that. But we do have xalde with another character, one more body in the party. Makes a bit of a difference. Gets tower key though.
Interesting.
Are we going to see the infamous Vermilion Gambit?
I hope not. I really hope not.
That you're playing, no one else should do it.
Yeah, no one, even I shouldn't do it. But the Baron Inn, I have to wonder. Maybe Chaos decides to fade Baron Inn and instead go for Baron Castle, having that Baron key in hand. But either way, Baron has extra value for Chaos.
Yeah, there's so much routing right here, right now. There's the inn, and then there's the castle. The castle, the character, again, another gated one, so we could get access to, again, a food. We could get a second edge, which is nice but unnecessary at this point because we don't have the equipment for him.
We also can't take dupes, so.
Ooh, are we on the no dupes flag now?
We are on no dupes as of the beginning of brackets, so.
So that's the really interesting thing. So we do have a couple of characters that we're still on the distinct 10 though, right? So
yes, we're still on distinct 10. Yep.
Okay, so that's when it gets to be really spicy. So we have two characters that are sleeping, 3 dupes all seed. This could be again one of the dupe characters here, which makes seeing a dupe a whole lot more heartbreaking. Although also, not the worst. But when you have 2 characters that are really weak and a third one, not what you want to see. But yeah, quick flame, gonna make it through this. Couple of extra levels, and Chaos AD is gonna make much easier work with this. xalde though, going and checking up Sheila 1, gonna be getting that Baron key, gonna probably push him more towards the Baron check afterwards too.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Chaos rematch with the Alt Gauntlet. Let's go. This should be much smoother this time. Yeah, xalde with Tower Key in hand. You found one of your bosses. You've already found Demas. So right now you are on a hunt for. You need a harp, adamant, hook and pink tail, and Leviathan. You need some combination of those. I have to imagine, for my money, going back underground, doing dwarf where there's 2 bosses, doing tower where there's 2 bosses, that's going to be kind of your highest value checks if you're trying to find that Leviathan while also getting key item checks done.
Yeah, hard agree. This is one of those, like, your power is not strong enough that you can just go on the moon and do some crazy shenanigans right now. No, you don't have the hook yet, xalde.
No hook yet. Sorry.
We've all made that mistake. I've very much made that myself.
Hook machine broken.
Get a rest here, or slightly paid rest here, as opposed to burning the cabinet that he's got.
Yeah. Setting up for Baron.
I 100% agree with Baron play. Like you said, it's two other bosses that we haven't seen aside from the Octomom that Infinius had very graciously gone and double checked for us, and we also have the underground fights. If you can take that Water Hag fight, you can kind of maybe take whatever's underneath an Odin, except for Odin itself. Some interesting weapons I saw there.
Yeah.
Saber, we have cast claws. But yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, there's not much there. I think what you're looking for in that shop particularly would have been something like a charm staff to give to this Rydia, and probably nothing else. Maybe Ninja Sword if you get to the point where you are just sitting on a bunch of money and just need a better weapon for edge. You would have come back for it, but never hurts to take a peek, see what's there. But yeah, xalde is going to go in, going to take down this Octomam, and we're going to get a character check, which could be someone to use that X-Cal, could be someone to use that defense sword. Going to get a boss check from the Baron Throne, and then, as you said, the Odin Throne. Right now, your party's a bit dicey to take it unless it's something where you can maybe exploit some part of the boss script. but at least peeking it, because if it is Leviathan's not too bad as long as you have Star Veil and a way to heal through the wave damage, because aside from that 25% wave, well, we already know where Asura is.
No, I mean, like, you use the Asura to heal through that wave damage.
Oh, yes, because that gets through wall. That is a very, very good call.
Also, the Sylph Summon, probably not going to be strong. Actually, no, would be strong enough if it's only the quarter health that you're getting through.
Yeah.
Probably would be good enough. So this Rydia, it could be paying out dividends down here if it's Leviathan.
Yeah, I think we saw Thunderclaws in his shop, and Xalde opted to not buy one. If we find a Leviathan down here, I would probably be, in his shoes, I'd be sitting there going, I should have bought that Thunderclaw.
Always buy the Thunderclaw, because again, as we were talking about, you got a lot less money. You're going to want those tier 7 items. Thunderclaw plus the Searchers in Babel equals a good time.
Yeah. But as you also said, we had the Earth Hammer, which does extra damage to machines, so we didn't necessarily need it at that point. But it would also be nice for this Octomam. But hindsight is like 2021 or something.
No, hindsight's so last year. Come on, Zoe, get in with it.
Oh yeah.
But we see Chaos gets his X-Cal, gets his Rydia, and is gearing up his characters, because that is a full inventory on his side. Gearing up Edge just out a little bit better. And we are gonna see what the boss behind it is, but I'm really excited to see like where they go afterwards the diversion, because there's 2 different sections. Again, as we say, we got Tower versus Dwarf, and that's really kind of the big thing. I'm also excited to see what Baron itself holds, because that will also kind of dictate the landscape of the next couple of checks. You get Earth Crystal, you're kind of tempted to do that. You get yourself a Harp, you're gonna do that next. Because it's your objective. As we always say, objectives and the freebies. But it's still very interesting, like just where your checks go and how you make your decisions as you're going. But the king, what is he hiding today? It is 3 girls. It is now a matriarchy here in Baron.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to see it. This is the Skylar sisters, Sandy, Cindy, and Mindy from everyone's favorite musical, Kane.
What?
I don't know.
That one is a little.
Yeah, no, it got away from me. It was a Hamilton reference. It's fine.
There you go.
And Mindy, and that's all I got. Okay.
You got it. It's fine. We got there eventually. That's all that matters. But to answer a question in chat, they are not running different seeds. This is actually just their seed ranking in the brackets right now. They are running both the exact same seed. It is just where they're placed. And once Zoe, my co-commentator, has finished with killing themselves and with, herself with the lovely joke that was made, I'm very happy to welcome her back to commentating.
All right, cool. I'm good. I'm set. All right.
I missed you.
I missed you too. Cassidy is now here to take on this Octomam, and we are soon going to be done with the Vaga sisters and figure out what is hiding in the Baron trash can, Baron pot, whatever you want to call it. The place where we would normally find the Enterprise keys in vanilla.
But now we could have taken those sisters. We could have been using them for grind fodder here. That's totally a thing. It's a great XP spot here. Well, there's
hey, you called this.
I mean, I kind of did actually.
You said there could be a second edge.
I in fact did specifically go for that edges. Sorry, buddy. You get to come to the party and then quickly disappear. There can be only one.
Yeah. You did this, not me.
I mean, all I ever do is call and ask for hot garbage. You know this. You knew what you were getting into.
Yeah.
Xalde does get through, and we are going to see the bonus character, Hades, plowing through and making very good use of Octomom. Probably one of the bosses you don't mind seeing in a punchy spot, because you can, again, abuse the script to reset its attacks. So... kind of a not really nice thing to see here.
Oh,
but that is Baron required, though.
Yeah, not hard required yet until we find out what's in the Odin basement, but that allows us to get that #1 objective completely marked away and opens up the Kakol shop. Fortunately, we're not going to be getting another Xcal. We've already found the one to maybe throw, but if there's ever a spot that you maybe want to throw that Xcal, it's going to be here at whoever's at Odin. I really hope it's the Leviathan for Xalde's sake. I really hope that it's
very bold, yeah.
I'm really hoping that it is not Golbez.
Yeah. Also, additionally, the nice thing, yeah, Golbez here would be very unkind, healing up just to make it even worse if it is Golbez here. I'm gonna actually call Ruby.
Oh, not so.
Wrong element. But
Yeah.
that is interesting. Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
I mean, like, you called an element, I called a boss that used, like, wave. We met in the middle.
High five.
Woo!
Yeah, the HP there, gonna make those opening waves very, very strong. Not something you're gonna want to see. And you kind of, if you had picked up that, as we were talking about, pick up that Thunderclaw, that's actually a boss you don't mind keeping the wave up on at that point, because that's Thunder weakness.
Yeah, opening up a spreadsheet that I made. Yeah, that spot will hit with the wave at full health for anywhere between about 800 and 1200 damage. So,
ooh, that's a spicy opening wave.
Hey, it's our friend Mylon Zed.
All right, welcome. We had a raid group coming in, and there was a question: how is the race going so far? We have one objective at 42 minutes, which is hidden on Mount Ordeals that Hades has not gone and checked. We have a very, very open seed, early Darkness Crystal, early Magna Key sitting at Fabul 1, Fabul 1 defense, and a seed that is questionably rude/fun with a little helping of vanilla.
Yeah, and Chaos Hades is about to get the bad news. There's a second edge here that he cannot take, but get the good news that there's an adamant in the Baron Pod, which will allow him to have his first objective done, because he, to this point, has faded Ordeals, where that Antlion is hiding out in the mirror room. Because I guess in this seed, Cecil's inner self is an Antlion?
I mean, aren't we all really just someone who wants to bury themselves underneath the sand?
I mean, yeah, that's just who I am.
Exactly, except the sand here is like lots of video games.
Yeah, yeah. Too real, Dathis.
Look, come on, man. I mean, it's how we do things.
All right, so back to the action. Xalde is taking down this Mylon Zed. This is pretty nice. Mylon Zed is rarely ever that dangerous. Just punches, will throw up a curse, can poison you with the punches, but even in spots with a lot of health, you're still getting multiple turns to his one, especially this spot, which is pretty slow. So that boss is already dead, and now we're going to see who's here at the Golbez spot, a spot that has very, very low HP. It's kind of a pushover. This isn't too bad. Low HP. That Kane. If you still have your defense sword, I think maybe you get rid of Forum here?
I would be very tempted to actually keep that Forum. Yeah, I think Xalde has more of my view here. You put Kane, you now take Sid, you throw him in that middle slot, and you stay here. This is your home now. Kane and Edge are your big heavy lifters. You got your double Zerk, you got your double heals. This is safety the party right here, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, I see. I don't think there's a wrong decision there. I like to keep the radio because I have access to Sylph and Asura for stuff where things get really dicey and I need some more offensive healing, if that makes sense. I don't think there's a wrong choice there. Either way, it works just fine. But Chaos Hades peeking that Odin spot, sees the Kanatsu and says, "Not today, Turtle. My name is not Shredder. We are going to go elsewhere."
Absolutely. We are not dining on turtle soup today. We are, though, going to be breaking the system, and Hades is going to go to that place that has been faded and going to be getting Objective 4 lit up very shortly. I was actually going to ask, like, if you were in Hades' shoes, would you just continue to fade this spot here because you've just done it for so long, or would you eventually just come back here after you're done Baron? We get our answer, though.
Yeah, I think coming back here after doing Baron makes perfect sense. You want to know what my favorite thing about that Kanatsu is? He's hiding in the Baron basement.
Zoe very much, please. uh, uh,
All right, well, Zelda's through the CPU is going to show us what is the latest in dwarven fashion.
Also, we do see one of my favorite colors of the hand for Golbez. It is the gray hand. We are, as you said, Ruby, not a key item you really want to see because again, it could be another dupe character.
Could be a Fu or a Cecil.
It could be. I'm working for another.
Okay. While Dathus is taking his turn to recover, Zald found the sirens there. It's going to show us a bit more. Find that black belt karate. Nice. I guess that's Yang's laundry here in the basement of Dwarf for some reason. But now you have the tower key. You can get 2 boss spots as well as 2 key items from the Tower of Babel. I think that's where I would go here, but you can also check that Sand Ruby. Maybe you want to see if you can get a Cecil to use this X-How you're sitting on, or maybe a Fusoya to give you a bit more of magical firepower if you want someone to maybe replace that for him. Though, as Dathus mentioned, 2 Zerkers, an Edge, a Kane, and a Sid potentially to be your anchor. That's a very, very safe party.
Yeah, the other thing you could really do is you could set yourself up a nice save down here at the save at the tower, go check what that Sand Ruby is and say, okay, you're my anchor for later, because that could be another Sid, and then replace that Sid with somebody else and then bring them back later. And it was very convoluted, and that's how we do it here. But that means, ooh, that's something you are sorely tempted to want to have money for.
So I don't know if you're thinking the same thing that I'm thinking there. The Murasame is nice. The Moonveil is better.
Oh, those are both 2 really, really tempting items. See, the thing is, it's going to really depend on everything else in this seed, to be completely honest. If we have a very rude Ogo spot, then that's going to make that Moonveil so nice to at least have the knowledge of. If we find a seed that is just like average overall, you kind of don't mind going and spending some of that money on maybe one of those Murasames or Musketeers, just because, again, Edge doing a lot of the heavy lifting damage-wise.
Yeah, I like the Moonveil because I like having one in my back pocket for a potentially nasty Moon boss. And unfortunately, we have seen a lot of the specifically punchy bosses, Aunt Mayan, Asura, Mylon Zed, Baigen. They're off the table. So there's not a ton more bosses. Something like the Dark Imps.
The Dark Imps in this trying time.
Yeah, I would say the Dark Imps are still there.
There's a way to deal with them, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But if I had the money before going to potentially Nasty Moon, if I wasn't 100% confident in my party, I'd probably see if I have enough money just in my my back pocket to maybe buy a Moonveil.
Absolutely. Or even if once you've done the moon and you have to say come back down because the harp objective's up there and it's guarding something else, you could get all your money from up there and then come down and buy it. So it's buy whatever you need, either the Moonveil or the Moss Immune. So it's like you have an easy moon, you have a lot of money. That is still a possibility because you get, if I remember correctly, you get a fair chunk of cash from the bosses that are up there.
Yeah, it's not too bad. You can also take a Gold Dragon fight and come away with 69,000 if you life glitch one of them. Another thing that a Moonveil would potentially be really useful for is that Valvalis.
This is true. You could just berserk up one of your fighters and have them go, or Kane could just keep jumping, and all that works there. We have a free boss, and we know we're a Rubicante of some flavor. There is leg in the underground path.
Yep.
So we know that one boss there. We still don't know what King Queen Evelyn is. That could be our Leviathan.
Yeah, still could be. Still could be there. Really interested to see what comes from this. This is a incredibly free fight. Maybe you would prefer to see this on the moon, but you're not going to say no up here. This spot normally has about 18,000 hit points, so it's usually pretty easy, but a long fight. This will be over relatively quick. We'll get the key item check, and then we can figure out what's going to come from the super cannon room on the way out. This would be way spicier if we didn't have the tower key.
Yeah, this would be really nice because again, you could get this into a vanilla tower key, which would be very entertaining, or just the half tower play. Um, but then this is also going to very strongly like ask where we're gonna be going after this, because like all your free checks are kind of done. Like you can't really do anything that's not going to take a bit of challenge now. Like you were saying, that Valvalis is going to be a headache. You have everything on the moon; those aren't going to be gentle whatsoever with these levels. I think Rosa may get Cure 3 here. No, it's still just shy of it. Just gets haste or fast. So your healing options are still semi-limited. Well, there's another direction you're going to be going.
Yep. Luka Key, that is going to get us another check, another boss location, as well as that was our 9th key item, I believe. 2, 6, 9. Yes, one more key item, and we can get double experience, which will be really nice if you plan on going to the moon or plan on grinding before you do stuff. Dropping a save here. Okay, I get this.
Wyvern just being very rude and popping out of nowhere and blarging all over your face. No, I 100% agree. Also, additionally, if you really wanted to, if you didn't want to spend more money on sirens or steal some more, what you could do, pop a couple of those eggs. Oh, hey, look, Yang. Another free fight.
I'm gonna call this like a distorted version of vanilla.
No, I'll agree with that because, as we know, in the original story, he does defeat the Dark Elves, the Dark Imps, and he goes and stops them from doing this. And he's like, "Oh, I must destroy the cannon." So he's still destroying the cannon, just not in the way we were looking for.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, Anthony in chat. Go T vanilla. This is the darkest timeline vanilla.
This is, in fact, the darkest timeline for vanilla. I love that. That's so good. We're taking that from now on. Anytime Yang is there, it is the darkest vanilla. Neapolitan, actually, at that point?
I don't know. I like
not quite vanilla, not quite chocolate, and a little bit of strawberry on top.
I like strawberry. Chocolate swirl. It's a good one. I don't know.
All good options. But we do have Xalde going to be getting us that the new path down here, some fun new treaded areas. I am excited to see what is here. Although I was going to try and segue into it before Yang showed up. There is the option, you pop a couple of eggs, get that wall on Rosa, and then you go through Luca, and then on your way back out, you hit some doors, and you do a door grind. Very cheeky, takes a little bit of manipulation to get working, but always fun to see pulled off.
Yep. There's a vanilla hook. Woo!
That is very much a vanilla hook. That's our second dose of vanilla. I'm so happy here. I do agree with Xalde going and cashing that in right away.
Yeah. Sandra, check first. I like this. You're going to be able to. You now have 10 key items. So if this is someone you want to grind up like a sea salt, now is the time to take them. If this is a Fusoya, maybe you want to do something cheeky with him as far as your grind goes. Yeah, go turn in this rat tail. Maybe it leads into a pink tail, and you get the nice instant turn in on that to get your objective. Maybe it's a pan. Maybe it's nothing, but you now have your hook. You are now only looking for 2 of 3 things. You're looking for a Leviathan, pink tail, and a twin harp. I need 2 of those 3, and you're in go mode.
Also, Yang occupying 2 beds at one time. How does that work?
Well, he's occupying 2 beds and also just blew up the super cannon.
Yeah, he exploded so hard he came back up here.
Yeah.
That's what happens in the original game, remember? The explosion, and we're up above the ground, and I don't know. It's magic.
Yeah, I don't know.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yang ruins everything. Rat tail turn in spoon.
That's an item you actually like, because that's a very important item. That's our 10th key item. So Xalde can go crack some eggs for a lot of experience right now.
That's our 11th key item, Dathel.
I can do math.
Yeah, now you have a spoon and an excal for darting if you choose to do so on the moon. But yeah, at this point, maybe let's see. You check the shops here. Maybe you can find some hourglasses if you want to go that route. Maybe you check the character. Maybe you're still on the hunt, hoping for a Cecil. But then what do? Do you go look at that at that sealed cave?
Actually, I thought you were gonna ask about the boss here. I do the boss check here because you're here. Hourglass 2s, that's
and Bacchus wine.
That's a pricey, desirable shop though. Whew. But as I was saying, yeah, you come down here, you're here already. If you're checking the character, you go for that boss check. Like you stop, drop a save right outside, go check. Is it a boss that you're looking for? No, reset, exit out, you're good. If this is a character that's extremely desirable as well. But it's no, you check the bosses, you check down here, and then I think you shotgun that sealed cave, but right after you go and pop a couple of... Again, I'm still a fan right now. You get a lot of your grind on, so you can get characters to a decent level and utilize those doors for experience if you don't have enough to adjust your sirens.
Yeah, I'm on the fence about the checking the boss here. That's a Tella. I think he just...
that's the question. Do you take this?
You just bought hourglasses. You can do King reuse with the Tella. I think you take this Tella. I think you leave your Porum behind or your Cid behind if you...
I think Cid's out of here, personally.
Yeah. I think after taking the character here, I think I agree with you that I go check King Queen. If I wasn't going to take this character, I wouldn't have even triggered this cutscene. And I wouldn't bother checking the boss. But it also, like, if you feel ahead, maybe you push that advantage. Yeah, I like this. Cid can serve to be either your anchor or your third berserker. And like in the case of maybe you find a cursed ring for him. And if not, he's a big chunk of HP if you have some tier 3s.
Yeah, that's a bold play. We do see the Porum getting put out as pasture for the Tella. I don't hate it because again, you're looking at 3 berserkers, a Rosa, and another berserk caster / anchor, which is essentially what you had in the party, kind of the same. Cid is going to provide some okay-ish to / acceptable damage.
So clog with Q, which will be equally as useful.
Yeah, absolutely, which is great. The 3 melee fighters doing that. But at that point, as we do have a couple of people talking in chat, especially our lovely tracker, Judge Infinius, we do have Yang that would be a good berserker. So we could probably actually ditch this Cid for that now.
In my opinion, you're already past level 30. There is no slingshot in this flag set. I'm not taking Yang. The time investment to get him to a point where he's really going to contribute more than this Cid would is not insignificant. I wouldn't knock anybody that did go for that play because it has its own values. I just personally would not.
So I was really curious about is he at the point where he is too late, or will he be more useful than that Cid damage-wise? Because that's always the question. Because Cid's damage output is so small, and Yang's, again, ramps up only when he starts hitting, I think, what was level 40... In the 40s is when he starts like actually dropping out those mad fists.
The other thing that I would keep in mind is we have Edge and Kane, and both are not back road. There's a cursed ring. That's really good. But Edge and Kane aren't back road. Cid is. Yang, without a convoluted glitch setup, cannot be back road, and you want your middle slot to be your anchor. So a back road Cid is better than a back road Yang, who is not glitched.
You're right. I completely forgot about the fact that we did not have a back row for this Kane. Again, it's so interesting just to see the change, the little changes in flags make such huge implementations and differences in the later parts of these brackets. Like not having that dwarf axe, like, oh yeah, dwarf 100%, no problem. Means Kane, like he still has great viability, but he loses again the guaranteed back row status that thing a lot of people are kind of accustomed to now. So he's as great of a character because again he can still jump in the back row, but it's not as good for him because you want to have him just be kind of swinging away.
There's a package.
You walk that out.
So you check the boss, but then I think the bigger question is, do you walk out the cursed ring that you found in here?
So there is a save that Xalde had put before this, and the cursed ring came before the save point. I am 100% on Xalde's side right here. You fight this boss.
You fight this.
Walk this package out. 100% walk it out.
Yeah, I think you walk it out for multiple reasons. One, this Dark Elf is pretty free. If you get it to the second form, you can just weak it and you're good to go. Second, that package, while I would not take a Cecil or a Yang right now, I would still take a Cecil or a Fu. And three, there's a boss there. Yeah, wow. Jeez, what AI? There's a boss behind the package. You're still looking for a boss.
Exactly. We're looking for a boss. We're looking for another character to kind of replace the Sid. Maybe even Kane. Definitely going to be a Sid replacement, 100%. It's very interesting to see what is going to be the higher priority and such on Xalde, like who the character is, what he takes, and what he goes from there, and what is a good priority too. Like what character, like you said, you're looking for Cecily, you're looking for Fu. Is there any other character that you take at this point over this Sid?
Over this Sid, no. Honestly, unless I'm doing like specifically King Ryu, anybody I take here is I'm going to take over the Tella and use Sid as an anchor with that cursed ring. Yeah, I think honestly, at the point in the seed that we're in, because we cannot have any dupes, a Cecil or Fu are the only characters I'm even contemplating taking. Your Palom is going to take too long to get online. Same with your Yang, and we already had the Yang available. Eddie, even though you get a spoon, there's no spoon flag in brackets, so you're not going to make any use there. Yeah, I think it's Cecil, Fu, or all you're doing is checking the boss.
Yeah, and that is I do like that. It is very it's very hit or miss now. Like the no dupes is what really kind of super changes your lookout on things. Because again, another Edge wouldn't be the worst in the world, wouldn't be the greatest either. Because again, weapons for him are a very much luxury. We haven't found anything besides that the starting defense sword for him, really. So he's kind of like.
Fortunately, that defense sword is his best weapon. So
I'll fight you on that, but I mean, here we are.
I've done the math, Davis.
I thought it was his third best weapon once you get to certain levels.
It is his best weapon until... Okay, it's his second best weapon in the absence. Like, Avenger is best straight up until like mid-40s. Defense sword is better than White Spear until level 64. In the absence of an Avenger, 64. Because of the accuracy difference between the White Spear and the defense sword.
Huh, I thought it was a little bit lower level than that. That's actually really interesting.
I have a spreadsheet. I will send you the spreadsheet.
Please do. I love spreadsheets. I don't have enough spreadsheets, especially for my boy Kane. How could I not want one for him?
Anyway,
Runner's high-fiving.
Yep, Runner's high-fiving. Xalde's on his way out. Chaos is on his way in. I have to wonder, does Chaos also walk out this package after seeing its Dark Elf? You have to imagine that Xalde is either really, really wanting a Cecil or a Fu, or is really, really committed to checking this for Leviathan.
I was really curious what he's going to be grabbing and seeing what that chest is. Does grab that cursed ring chest, puts both runners on even footing in that aspect. Xalde, though, healing up. Curious to see where we're going to be heading next, because he's done Baron, or he's done Dwarf Castle. Is he have to do? Oh, no, and he's done the tower. I guess. Oh no, starting this grind. Gonna pop some eggs. And I do love me some more spreadsheets. That is really interesting. So again, a lot of this information and pretty much all of this knowledge is available on our Discord. If you ever have questions like what I do or anything more in depth, please don't be afraid to ask either on streams or in our Discord. There are so many people who are willing to help you out. Pretty much everybody there is willing to help out. Anybody who isn't is asleep. We will gladly teach you flags like this, beginner flags, anything you want to do. Questions, such a great knowledge base. We've had runners who, in this tournament especially, who have never done a race before, and they made very decent headway. We've had people who are long-time runners, long-standing people in the community. So you have people from all ends of the spectrum of runners and of knowledge of this game inside, willing to help, and it's just great knowledge that we all pass around. Nothing's hoarded, everything's shared.
I have chocolate.
I'm Joe. Are you gonna share?
I mean, do you like Reese's sticks?
Yeah.
If I can figure out how to get one to you, I'll share.
The mail. That still works.
Chocolate melts in the mail.
No, you're fine. Oh, we do have some characters, some more fighting over here on the Hades side. Getting a little bit of the frog, powering through pretty quickly. That Sid is doing more damage than I was expecting. Xalde, 2 eggs, crack them, and I think we're gonna get a look at that. What that Valvalis is hiding.
Ooh, yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. You've got a cane. You've got some decent damage. Xalde might very well be on Team Nevermoon, and that's my team. I gotta love it. I can hardly ever recommend it though. So we'll see if this pays off.
I'm just here for the bold plays, and I'm also a big fan of people who just do Feymarch in the first place, because a lot of people look at Feymarch and they say, I don't care what's here, we're leaving you alone unless it's like absolutely free. Because a lot of people don't like triple dipping. It's a lot of time, it's very out of the way, and especially when you see a boss like this, you're just like, get it away from me, like leave this place alone. But when you come down here and you fight these bold bosses and it pays off, like for example, there was a race the other back in the Swiss settings where we had a Rubicante that was guarding every bit of progression. He was guarding the Darkness Crystal, and the runners did everything in their power to avoid it. Mind you, they had like most of the seed to go through, but they still, it's like, it was a fight that was rude. Rubicante in the Asura spot is not a fun fight, but it just shows that it's like, hey, sometimes these bosses, to get through them pays off in miles.
All right, I now have tea to go with my chocolate. What I miss?
What you missed was some more fighting of the Dark Elf, getting through on the Chaos Hades side, and Xalde is, as we see here, starting off this Valvalis fight. Not what you like to see. The Silk Web, though, gonna miss because this is the high magic defense location. If you get a jump at that cane, you can get a Silk Web off, but as for right now, it's kind of just let the Berserkers do their thing, because they're going to be hitting pretty much full, about as hard as Valvalis is going to be hitting. This is where Blink Strats makes all the work happen.
Yeah, Blink Strat's going to go really nicely here. This Tela could technically miss with this Blink, which is kind of funny.
Because of the Curse Ring?
Because of the Curse Ring, yeah.
That is a scary thought.
I've seen Rosa without a Cursed Ring miss a Berserk cast before, and it was the most jarring thing in the world.
Why would you put that evil out there?
Hey, look!
No, to be fair, he cast it on the dead Kane. That's not his fault.
I'm still going to blame Tela.
I mean, tell a life. We have that for a reason. But no, I agree. We have Hades into the second phase of the Dark Elf fight, making pretty good work. Does not have this Tela, so is having to do this the old-fashioned way. Put him down with enough damage. But it's again, as we see, damage, knockout. I'm excited to see where he goes from there. Are we going to get Mirror Match Valvalis? Or are we going to get our first look at that package character and boss?
I'm hoping for the package character and boss.
Oh, yeah.
Chaos Hades is, like, it's hard at this point in the race to really decide who's ahead, who's behind. Xalde has a bit of an advantage on how quickly he got through some of these checks. But they're both pretty even on the stuff that they have checked. Their party comp is a bit different. They have a bit different levels, but if Chaos Hades, says no to Valvalis, goes, checks the package, finds the Leviathan, then all of a sudden, he just needs either the pink tail or the harp, and maybe he gets that early on the moon. Maybe he changes his moon routing. Who knows? This is still very much anyone's race.
Absolutely. A lot of it is going to come down to what this Valvalis is hiding. If Valvalis does have, something that's going to be very beneficial, like again, that Twin Harp, maybe even the Earth Crystal, if we get the God routing of Earth Harp, of Earth Crystal into Twin Harp, which would be very entertaining, which is the opposite of God routing. I am silly. Could have a pan here, although we are through that fight. Very, very nicely done. And I'm here for that because that is a great weapon for Kane, even though it has less accuracy. Fight me IRL. It is a womp though, as we mentioned.
Yep. Oh well.
So that means that Moon not haunted, very much required in some aspect. But the big thing is what is going to be behind this package? Is that going to be required and then make Moon a little bit less desired?
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Now it looks like xalde may not even be heading package-wise. No.
Nope.
I have to wonder if maybe he just decided that having the package in hand in case he needs it for later was worth taking out the Dark Elf. I'd be hard-pressed not to do what ch4osh4des is doing right now, which is, let's go ahead and just check this.
Absolutely. Because again, you can get your food here. That's Cecil. Oh, no. Wow. That's a bold call.
Okay.
That is spicy. Leaving that Cecil here in the 11th hour with an Excalibur.
That is not what I was expecting.
No, I'm here for this. You know what? We're not supposed to have favorites. I'm here for ch4osh4des to win. That is a bold call. Wow, that is a very interesting call. That's almost as bold as selling a crystal sword, in my opinion. But we do have both runners going to the moon, both of them saying, we're not going to deal with Milo and her friends. We're going to be heading straight to this moon floor. I'm a bigger fan of the top-down approach. I love doing the cave value, even though there's almost never any value in it, and then going from Masamune Altar all the way down. Because as we see with what xalde's doing, pretty sure we're going to see a D-Lunar check all the way up to the middle, which is not a bad choice. Like, any way that you go through these fights is not wrong. That's just straight up what I'm going to say right here.
Yeah, it's going top down.
And I'm here for it. It does not do... but we do have some Warlock grind going. That's what was going on here.
Yeah, but xalde bought a couple mute bells real early on. So had this kind of... Yeah, and we have an Elven, though, so we've got plenty to make quick work of these Warlocks and get us a bit more experience before we start looking to fight some of these moon bosses.
Oh, that's French vanilla, I'm going to say. Different Hanzo Steel boss. But that is not what you really want to see. Ogopogo not going to be fun here. This is a punchy boss in a punchy spot. Yeah, get that get these blinks up. Get it on your blink casters too, because they need to be protected.
This is not the noodle that we wanted.
I don't think you want to see any boss here or whatever that can do some of them good slaps, and this is a slap spot. But as I said here, we got dual blink casters. You need to get some cures up here now, though. This is where you're starting to get to the very scary area. Cure 3, gonna be good, but again, if it had gotten in a double wave section, which is the next spot, that's where it gets a little scary.
Yeah, you definitely... There we go. Got the heal up. Kane comes down before getting healed. This is going to be rude.
I mean, he can't get targeted by that Cure 2 because he wasn't there to be targeted originally, so that's a little unfortunate. This is where I think you possibly... Yeah, you get the blinks on the rest of your team. Kane's just going to be like, we're going to hope you avoid everything. And if you don't, it's like, we'll pick you up when you get knocked down.
Yep. Just
Bye, Kane. No cure free. Oh, no, go on,
yep.
Kane.
Bye, Kane.
Thanks for all the fish. Yeah, we're at the double wave section, so unfortunately, if he had have dodged, everything would have been in the clear. But this is at the point where everyone's HP is more than fine. You're gonna just zerk up this Yang here, and then just have him do all of the heavy lifting. Unfortunately,
where are you seeing a Yang?
I mean, the edge. Sorry, they both use two hands. They both double swing. Well, it's confusing these times. Okay.
I mean, this is Edward in front of us. Edward Geraldine.
I know there are two Edwards here. We don't need to talk about our boy Gilbert though. He's not in this seat so far.
Yeah, let's hope it stays that way. Sorry, Oscar.
Hot take. So don't let Oscar take it. Thank goodness she's in another team, or else you would have just been bonked.
Yeah. She's a good friendo, though.
Oh yes, absolutely. Love Edward. Love that she's on Team Edward. We all have our lovely spicy memes here going on, and it's a good time. Though we do see, Katie's got very lucky with that hit on Rosa, not doing as much damage as it could have. That could have knocked her right down. I think this is single wave is going to do it though. Oh no, it's the double wave. Ooh. Yeah, no, she's going down. Like the rest of the party's fine. She, on the other hand, is going to need a heck of a lot of love.
Yep.
Because it's 2 punches wave, right?
I think it's 2 punches wave. Yeah. At this point, with Xalde having, oh well, there's the Dark Imps. You've got an hourglass you found somewhere, don't you?
There were hourglasses purchased in the cave. Yeah, I think it is Xalde the one who purchased them. So that is your hourglass too, right there.
Yep, and you can either just fight them down or try and hit with Stone with Tella. Chaos takes the wipe, resets out of that Ogopogo. If you decide to go back into that, you kind of, at this point, you need that to be, say, Twin Harp into Pinktail or Twin Harp into Leviathan. Because Xalde now has a pretty sizable level advantage on top of already being down here at the Ribbon Room.
Yeah, Xalde having completed his grind is at more than Z levels at this point. Basically everything you're looking for in the remainder of your squad. Just doesn't even need to do these light glitches here. This is just power overwhelming at this point, which I don't disagree with, considering you've got an Edge that's barely doing any damage. It's barely doing damage. Kane, who's your heavy lifter, and a Sid, who is always never heavy lifting. But yeah, this is a team that is going to be doing a low amount of damage as an overall. And Hades also doing the exact same thing. Is going to be knocking out a Mute Bell, going to be getting rid of some of these Warlocks. Whole lot of XP here. One of the better ones to be using in kind of like the poor man's way of going about this, as opposed to using Hourglass plus the Siren to get Gold Dragons.
Yeah, I like the Warlock grind, especially when I don't have access to a Tella, because Masamune, that's pretty good. You didn't get a key item value, but you got a really good edge weapon on top of a boatload of experience.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing to take away from there is you have that, is you got your extra XP, and that is going to be your the extra XP and that extra weapon. Because, as I said, we have a low damage comp. Anything to give Edge in boosting up the damage to not quite Cessa levels, but as close as we can get there is what you're going to be really asking for up here.
Yeah, looking.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah. Looking at that, we got like Rosa in like low 50s. Everyone, you've basically kind of got your end game levels here. You can start if you want to maybe preserve some resources. You can start resetting out of bosses. D-Liners decided to just move next door.
Hey, look, they are tired of guarding ribbons and they want to protect themselves from the holy weapon. Yeah, Cure 4 gonna make really short work out of all this. Flame to follow, yeah, not something you're gonna want to be worried about. That White Spear gonna be doing some good work with the jump from Kane though.
Boing.
I love the sound of the jump. I'm just want to say that. I think that may be one of my favorite sounds in this game. Like, the pan smack is iconic, but that quick, and just like beat himself in the air, it's so good.
My favorite is still the bloop. The virus sound effect is up there. It's actually my text tone on my phone. I also really like the Dragoon Spear, like delayed.
Yeah, the lightning sound afterwards. It's a nice one. There's a whole lot of great audio back in the old 8-bit and 16-bit style of games, and they do great use. Although I know a lot of people's favorite sounds is the Holy Sword swing.
Oh yeah,
the X-Cal and the White Spear just chewing through enemies is very cathartic.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, Xald's going to be cleaning up these D-Lunars here really momentarily, assuming he can survive all these fires. These fires do percentage-based damage, and they start to hurt after quite a bit. I think that Kane does have a piece of Dragoon gear on, so taking less damage.
Unfortunately, Xald, you cannot reflect that. That's a good chunk of damage from that Kane, though.
Yeah.
He does have Dragoon gloves on, by the way.
I think the start of it was in hopes of that a breath was coming, but when you've got it down to just one, I don't believe he enters the breath part of the script anymore. I think it's just all fires, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fire. It's nothing but fires and counters every action with fire. At that point, it's like you've killed my partner dragon. I'm going to watch the world burn with you. Almost did it there. That edge was at 3 HP in a dream, but Kane is like, I got you.
My name is D-Lunar Montoya. You killed my brother. Prepare to die.
And then Kane's like, nah, fam, and just crushing them bones.
Hey,
we have a swapping of both Masamune bosses. I am here for this scene. I love it. I love it.
All we needed was Plague to not be on Ordeals and to be like at the Crystal Sword altar, and Wyvern to be in the Ribbon Room, and we would have just had lunar musical chairs.
I would have been so okay with that. The actual shuffle, the actual lunar shuffle. But instead, all we have is just the ninja sword boot scoot boogie instead of a Lunarian shuffle.
Yep.
This is actually a spot where you are okay to see this boss here. Yeah, low counters and everything like that. The physical stats are in the mid range. They're not quite like high as if we're looking at Bahamut or Leviathan spots. So the punches will hit hard on not Kane, who has that Dragoon resistance. But on everybody else, it's going to be nothing to scoff at. A really scary boss here would be one that not only physicals but also casts magic. Let's see, Antlion would have been really scary to find here.
Yeah. Golbez is pretty nasty in this spot.
Let me introduce you to the Magus Sisters here.
Magus Sisters is probably one of my least favorite bosses here, except for the circumstance where I have exactly someone with Quake or Bahamut.
No, even then that's still scary because they are fast here too.
They are, but it means that you get to take them down quicker. And if you can at least take down Mindy, it becomes a lot more manageable.
Yeah, and any one of the sisters, like especially Mindy, she is honestly the scariest. It is not a fun time to be going through that. But things that are fun times, Chaos Hades and getting through the levels is catching up, taking a rest. I'm going to be doing some of these other bosses here. Whereas Xald, unfortunately, our boy Tella does not do a whole lot of damage, even with that virus. Curse Ring, great and terrible at the same time.
I mean, you got the HP sap up on Paladin now, so that's doing something behind the scenes.
No, he cast it on himself to knock him down.
So I missed that. I was looking at the Chaos Hades screen.
That's fair. But again, we have the great use of these coffins here. Going to get some more XP. The nice thing about not overgrinding and not really putting a whole bunch of XP in your early levels is the fact that you're getting more XP out of these really nice spots, to be completely honest. Getting the bosses here and making good use of this boss bit. But there's something you want to see.
All right, so now the question is, does Xald check the Crystal Sword altar, maybe face check it for Leviathan, because if he finds Leviathan there, he is in go mode, or does he decide, let's go check this harp right now?
Oh yeah, this is warp it. Well, casting warp, I mean, you don't really need to be on this floor anymore, so I agree.
The swag warp, you'd love to see it.
I do. I think you finish the moon. I think whether you face check, like you're saying, or like I would suggest, I would actually fight everything. Both options, very reasonable right now. I would be very tempted to make sure this moon has nothing else, because we could still find a pan or an earth crystal that lead to nothing behind this twin harp. And if you leave another objective here up in the moon and you think, oh no, it's up here, that's a definite feels bad at this point.
Speaking from experience, yes, I know exactly how bad that feels. Ask me about week 6 in Swiss.
Let's talk about week 5 in Swiss.
Hi, Golbez. I think
I take that fight.
I I'd consider taking it. Part of me sits here and just wants to face check, but yeah, we're taking it. We're going for the Piggy and the size strats, and we're going to abuse part of the Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 4 battle engine. You can tell that I do play a lot of 14.
10 games too high. But,
10 games too high. The Final Fantasy 4 battle engine statuses have a priority, and if you are pickied or sized amongst plenty of other status effects, the paralysis that Golbez is going to try and inflict here is not going to take. And so you will be able to still maintain your turn order. You still have to sit through, Shadow devouring 3 of your party members, but then you don't have to wait for the heal to come out from Golbez, and you can instantly queue up something like a Star Veil with whoever's turn it is, rather than maybe hoping for the 50-50 that you get the turn that you want.
The nice thing is, this is even just like a strategy that we use. It's used in the vanilla speedrun too, which is great. Although they use mute, as opposed to like the Piggy and mini strats. I'm really excited to see that this Golbez has nothing though, because I like suffrage. Also, I want to see K value actually have some value.
Oh yeah, I would love that. I would love an Earth Crystal at cave value with Leviathan at the top of the Zot. That's what I want.
I would love to see some hot Zot action required, and see a couple of characters that would have been nice to have found earlier, but not so much now. You want to see that is a lot lesser of. I keep forgetting that the magic stat here is very weak.
Yep, it needs to be weak to survive the Wyvern Mega Nuke that comes out. It's just meant to surprise you, not to completely destroy your day. But this Kane with a White Spear, taking advantage of a Golbez weakness to bullet damage, also happens to be weak to fire. Not as important right now. And there we go. Golbez is down.
Yeah, that's what you like to see. There was a Fire Claw also in Zald's inventory as well, so there is that option. That, as you see, just powers through, not necessary for elemental weakness. But we do have a Ninja Star for us. If I was Zald, I'd probably reset out because you don't really need this anymore.
Honestly, you can just exit out at this point. Maybe you just want to keep that little bit of experience you got. I don't hate it. You didn't really use up too many resources in that fight that you want to replenish.
No, that's true. So the only thing we've seen so far in this moon is the fact that we've gotten this Twin Harp. Aside from that, the moon, it's required. Like it is 100% required, but it's not exactly required in the way that we were really hoping for.
Yeah, Zald can still step back in and get through that Ogopogo and let us know what's there, because if that's the pink tail, then that hurts a little bit. Because unless I was completely distracted, xalde did take that wipe to Ogopogo and did not go back to it.
That is correct. But after these fights in these levels, looking at Hades' levels now, in the 50s, I 100% expect a rematch against this Ogopogo, because that is a fight that I would be like, I don't care if you got nothing. You and I need to have a nice little conversation. This is where you just put pride back on the line and say, no. You put me down, it's time to repay the favor. But Hades gets to the easy early XP spots and is going to be doing a lovely visiting of the Pale Dim. So we're going to have both Masamune and Murasame bosses on screen at the same time in the opposite order. I'm so okay with this. I just want to point out that I love this. This is my new favorite thing for tonight.
It's so good. It's so good.
But yeah, we're gonna get a look at how Ogopogo is going to be kind of. So I actually like Hades' team a little bit more for the Ogopogo fight than I do Zald's. Like, yes, you got Rosa with Cure 4, but then that happens and Rosa goes down, and what do you do?
I think you've got to try. You toss a life potion. I would have considered maybe using life 2 with Tella just to get her fully topped off.
I
Because
think the cast is too long. But yeah, now you're in like full scramble recovery mode because he's not gonna get the wave off, and you're gonna get the tier 4. But this is like now you're so behind on the ball that you have to be eating. You're gonna be eating so many turns with tier 4s, and you're not gonna be able to get blinks up. I don't think we're gonna see. Unless you just like say blink instead of tier 4, which I kind of think is the smarter play here. Like you blink Rosa, then you blink Edge, then you blink the Sid, and casting tier 4s in between. Because I think maybe now is all stabilized, but these punches hitting for next to nothing on Sid, thankfully. But Edge could have gone down in a couple of swings, but instead just returns the favor. What do I know? This is why I'm up here. Oh, that's... Oh, man, come on.
You get to hear one of your other favorite sound effects, at least.
It was true. But and I do love the fact that you have to raise Tella to exit out, too. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, you haven't done Zot. Your Rosa doesn't have exit, so...
Get up, let's go.
I will say that there are a few feelings worse than... getting down to the lower areas of the lunar subterrane and realizing that you don't have exit.
He's kind of looking at you go, fine, I'll walk out.
or if your party is set up for it, you get to do the warp of shame and just keep warping out of the lunar subterrane.
But that's interesting. Isn't there a couple of doors that are actually return doors and not like areas that do warp their returns and not straight outs? Or am I just crazy?
It's straight out of the LST. Giant has some wonky things where because you have to either walk or warp out of Giant. You can't do both.
Yeah, I remember there's one area where it's like you choose one option and there's no going back. Although I do like this, Xalde decides I'm gonna go see what Mylon and friends are hiding, and maybe they're gonna be having a nice key item with the pink tail. Maybe they'll have that Earth Crystal, so we have everything now open on the overworld. I am excited to see what is here, but I see Berserks in the future. Right there.
Yep, couple of Berserks coming out. Not really much else to speak of. You can see, is that a flame that was queued up?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Not sure it's going to be enough to take out the... Yeah, not quite. But Hades does have his Twin Harp as well. Honestly, I would just go ahead and circle up this edge and let Kane one-shot these.
Yeah, that White Spear, as much as we were talking about resetting out of the spoon, I think is actually kind of paying off in dividends. Between the D-Lunars and then the Mylon and the Gats up here, kind of really making up its value. Rosa even just like, you know what, I'm done with this. We're casting white. They're not bad. Magic stat here, nothing to talk about. It doesn't really do anything. Like punches maybe once in a blue moon, but this is kind of what you're looking at as an overall for just like let's just put it down. This is a boss that is more of an inconvenience than an actual boss.
Yeah, it's just. These lit one counters they're just obnoxious. there's no way around it.
They really are.
In some places they can be like kind of dangerous if you're in an early location that has decently high magic, but at this spot you're just like, oh, this is just time consuming. Please stop.
Yeah, the worst part is when you're in like your first couple of bosses and you're just like, can we not? Speaking of can we not, I really hope that pan has nothing because Chaos Hades sees that Golbez and says, nah fam, and leaves.
Well, the pan is from the Ogopogo. The Golbez had just a ninja star, so that's actually
that is a smart play.
That is, we know that is going to be a time save in Chaos's future. But says no to going back to the Ogopogo. Is going to go to Baron Basement.
Oh, but there's a whammy. Oh no.
That is go mode for Xalde. We know. I think Chaos Hades does have the Twin Harp. I think Infinius has not yet marked it.
He does have the twin harp, so yeah, I do agree with this. The only way that this pays off and we'd have a spicy race is if
this is
Leviathan here.
If this is exactly Leviathan, because yeah, if this is exactly Leviathan, Xald's gonna have to do it anyway, and then the Mylon fight there was just more time lost. This, even though Xald is in go mode, this is not over until someone finishes Zeromus, but it's not even necessarily Xald's advantage until we know who's here in Cave Magni, because
but now this is Schrodinger's harp.
Yeah, because at this point we have this Twin Heart boss spot, we have the package spot, we have King Queen Evelyn, we have both of the bosses in the Tower of Zot, and both bosses in the Giant. Any one of those could be Leviathan, so your chances here aren't great, but I know that I've seen my fair share of hard required harps. I would put money, if I had any, on Leviathan being here.
I would absolutely take that bet and agree with you in that. That would be a very, very solid one. What I actually kind of hope, in a very, very mean way, but that's just because this is how I am. I hope that Leviathan is actually at package, and that kind of burns Chaos Hades for not grabbing that Cecil earlier. That's very rude of me to say, and I very apologize if that's what that evil is. But that's what I kind of want to see. It's like, this is a Cecil, this is a boss. Like, here is a present for you. Finish this scene with some power.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be very, very rude, and I would not wish that. But I would say that in a vacuum, it would be entertaining, if nothing else.
Absolutely, and it would have made a very nice little story for this. And again, it would have just made the run that much more interesting. But yeah, for him bonking us up, we're gonna miss the we can't. No, unfortunately, we get the we can't script.
Yeah. Also,
so
Deathus. Deathus.
No?
Shh.
Why?
Your name isn't Rivers. Shh.
But no.
I will mute you. All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we have to jump into this. We have a race, people!
Oh my. Hard required harp. Here's our Leviathan. Chaos is bailed out of noping out of the Ogopogo with the pan, noping out of Cave Value. Is going to get his crystal first, unless Xald just happens to get through this fight incredibly fast. And they both have the pass in hand.
Oh man, I love this. And the thing is even with that low HP on Porum, these are Z levels too. Less grinding going on. This is spicy. I am so here for this. Also, I want to do a big shout out for Wandering Keeper, who does say that is Mario Galaxy Lunar Observatory in this, because we were all racking our brains in chat. The big bomb here, it doesn't matter, because that just blew this scene wide open. Oh, I'm so excited for this.
Oh, for those that maybe aren't aware of what was at stake here, Xald is up one game in this best of 3. Chaos Hades needed this to be exactly Leviathan in order to realistically stand a chance at winning this race and staying alive to force a game 3 in this best of 3. That just happened. If Chaos can just execute on this Zeromus fight, I think we're going to be moving on to a game 3. This is a race. This is what we live for. This is exciting.
Absolutely. I am so here for this. I love this. Answer a question, chat. Who has the faster Z-Win setup? I actually put my money on Chaos Hades for one simple reason. You regulate Porum to heal duties, and then you have Rosa go and do all of your damage through reflect.
Oh.
Where are you going, Hades?
Hades, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing?
I'm really curious as to what's going
Are we
on.
buying a J item? We know that.
Oh, maybe going for that Masamune for Edge that we were talking about.
Oh,
earlier.
yeah.
I agree with this. I agree with the time. This is going to save, I think, more time that's being spent here.
Yeah, if you have the money to buy a Mura, go ahead and buy it.
No, a ribbon. I agree with this. No, I also agree with this now.
Yeah, this actually, yeah. Your Rosa doesn't have as much HP as you maybe would want. Oh no, your Rosa does. You gotta put that on Porum instead. But you're given some time back here, because Xalde's just gonna walk in here, I think. This may have just swung it back over to Xalde.
Oh man, no, I'm so here for this though. This is the story we're looking for.
Yep, Xalde's going in. I would have, I would have bought the Mura. The ribbon, I don't.
Money for it. Was it think about 10k, 8k shy?
Maybe.
So just under the wire, unfortunately. So that one or two other bosses would have like made enough of it, but no, this is. Oh, this is still going to be a nail biter. But to go back to what I was saying, I think that Hades has the better team. Porum is your healer. Rose is your DPS. You reflect whites off a walled Sid, and you just have your Zerkers go to town. They will be doing way more than what you think they're going to be doing here. But Zoe, I opened this up. You get to close it. What's with all these Z flags going on in chat?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna mess around and do the normal jokes I do about it being my name or people falling asleep. This is too exciting to fall asleep to. And we have 527 different Zeromus sprites that have been lovingly crafted by Boardface and our art director, xalde. And we're gonna see one of those tonight. And the question is, whose butt are we kicking tonight? And a supplementary question, is butt cute? Yes or no?
Always yes. I really want to see the ones that by one of our other Restream team members, LaliHo, who won one of his sprites. I don't think it's been seen out in the wild yet. I'm excited to see that one. I want to know what she has picked, because Skull has been hyping up a little bit in the bag here. So I'm super excited to see that. But the crystal is tossed. Zeromus is going to be Gurring, and we are going to see what his true colors tonight are.
And while we're waiting, of these two parties, I kind of like Xalde more. I like the Q jamming, and oh yeah, we've got what is this? Kool-Aid Miss? I'm not sure. Yeah, Kool-Aid Miss. I like Xalde party here a bit more. Scala is dying. Scala is dying.
Wait, is this actually it? So we do have a lovely art wizard, as I also like to call her, Skull Kitty, whispering in her ear. This is from one of the newer rounds too. So the fact that this is out in the wild, I am so excited. We did get to see something new. Ed is butt cute. Oh please.
Oh yeah,
so cute.
Butt is so cute. But yes, I like Xalde party here. I like the Q jamming factor of having Sid also pumping out a little bit more than 2,000 damage. If you really want to, you can have Rosa reflect a few whites, but I would honestly just go with my 3 Zerkers, wait on Rosa to throw out some Cure 4s. Yeah, this is going to be close. Both parties are very good.
Yeah, the fact that the curing of that cane, I'm very curious about this. Anyways, he does have white on Porum too. Ooh, no, I thought he was lower level, didn't have that yet. No,
man,
I'm more on Hades' side now. This is just brute force on both sides. Q jamming on both areas too. If he had a Bacchus wine, I would have liked that a little bit more, tossing it the Starveil. But does still have the spoon. That is a lot of extra damage that is on Hades' side.
This is gonna be so close.
If you admin have to do another photo finish, I'm so sorry, but I'm also so here for this.
There is also one other thing here, is that Chaos is on battle speed 2. That is not a huge difference, but if this is like within seconds, that could have been a difference.
And it does
Oh.
also lend to the reflex strategies a little bit, gives you that little bit extra time so Zeromus doesn't get those bonus ticks. And still jamming the Q so much. This is, oh man. This is going to be very, and look at this extra damage. Another 5k, 8k from this damage from all these weapons to throw. This is where it's like numbers counting. If someone could count cards and count his damage numbers, I would be so curious to see where things are going. I hope Rosa actually starts casting Berserk on this edge now, because I think that's all the really good weapons you can throw versus the physical DPS you can be putting out. I don't know the numbers. I'm not a mathematician. I just play one on TV. But this does go for the nerf though. That's very smart doing with the vampire.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with your HP totals, you would really only be at risk of losing Porum, which maybe Xalde, however, has lost his edge, and a little bit of a hiccup on the side. It's fine. It's just a hiccup.
It's coming back. We are going to have everything back. But yeah, that edge going down, I think because of that, and because Chaos Hades is playing this slightly safer and having that double healer, it looks like it's more on his side, because he still has 2 Berserkers up, is using what is looking for, I guess, another way to nuke, maybe? To nerf. Doing this is very safe and very, like...
Oh, we got rocks on Xalde's side.
Oh. Now the question is, who's going to do the more damage quicker?
Yeah, like Chaos is probably approaching this point as well, but the time spent to use this crystal and the nuke is very dicey. Having some more issues on Xalde's side. We are working to figure out what's happening there. We will keep you all updated.
All right, so we do have the crack, boom, bang, flash. That is GG. The timer that is on screen versus what we just saw on the actual timer is based on Respot timer. So it does look like, as of right now, Xalde is your official winner, 147-43. GG's out in chat. Does go 2-0 in this best of 3. Well raced, very, very close race. And we're going to see if we can get him in for an interview.
Yeah. Just to reiterate, this is the official time. This matches the timer that is on Xalde's end. Because of the occasional delays, it looked like he was a minute slower than he was, but this is official, and this is a official win for Xalde. Xalde will be moving on to face Couch in the round of 32. GG's to Xalde. Very, very well raced.
Absolutely. Even having lost the score in there, does recover very strongly. This is very good, like, event. Very good, very clean. Rosa staying up, getting heals out, and throwing out all the damage of these whites. Oh, that was a direct cast white. This is what happens when you cast white on your Zeromus. It counters with weak on a single person.
Yep, and it doesn't nerf either, which is annoying. But I heard a familiar sound effect in my ear. I think we're joined by Xalde. GG's.
Xalde is in fact in chat. You muted, my friend.
No, I'm not muted. It's just my internet had a hard time with stuff and things. As let me actually hold on. I had the stream open on this side watching the last 10 minutes of the race, and oh my god.
That was made it a lot closer, made it for very entertaining.
Yeah, it looked closer than it was after we saw your final time there, but yeah, that was very, very interesting. That Leviathan at Twin Harp. What were you thinking after seeing that and realizing that, oh no, 2k value was not actually needed?
Well, the first word was a couple profanity words, and then I was like, I should have trusted my gut, because as soon as I got that heart, my gut was telling me, safety save, ditch moon, check heart. And if I would have checked that, wow, that would have been amazing.
Yeah, I posited that that was an option, but I wouldn't have, and that's bias from what had happened to me in a previous race in this tournament where I got burned really hard by leaving the moon early. But it would have been, it would have paid off in this seed within the correct call. But huge GGs. That Zeromus fight was very, very well executed as well. You are moving on to the round of 32. How are you feeling?
One, it's like I never even thought I would get. First, I never thought I would get past the Swiss. That was just mind blowing at first. And now going on to the brackets and facing Couch, I'm more worried that it's going to be a complete blowout and I'll embarrass myself. But it's super exciting to actually have made it this far for finally entering my first tournament after being in the background for so long. So it's just, I don't know. It's really cool and really scary.
Yeah, you've kind of burst onto the scene here in this tournament. You've been around for a hot minute, but this is a very strong first tournament showing, and you show tonight why even a runner that's been around as long as Couch should not take you lightly.
He'll be fine. And he'll do all the tricks that I don't know about. Or maybe I'll get lucky. Isn't he usually the one that fades Antlion or something like that? So if I just do Antlion first and it's value, then I win?
That's PK.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that Couch does too, but PK's the meme.
Yeah. I was really happy that this lead paid a lot better than the last one.
So big question that I have, Xalde, is you had that package and you went up and you checked the Sand Ruby character. Why not also go and do the package character and boss at the same time after doing Luca Cave?
That was on my mind a lot. I thought about it, but then just too much time wasted between cutscenes. The only reason I checked Sand Ruby was for an off chance Cecil, because I had that Excalibur burning a hole in my bag. And I thought about checking package just for the boss, but then at that point, that had been too much time for such a small check, and the moon was calling me. It had too many key items up there, and I needed a hook. I needed the pink tail and the twin harp at that point.
Yeah, there was a Cecil package, by the way.
Chaos AD showed that to us.
Showed it to us and then reset out. Yeah, the main thing.
I want to know that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. That's what we're here for. The main thing that I was confused just about there was taking the time to actually go through the Dark Elf and then not at least checking the character. It obviously paid off pretty well. Leviathan was not hiding at the package. I don't know how much the Cecil would have really helped clearing out the moon, having to level him up from level 1, but overall, very, very, very strong race. Very, very well played, and just huge GGs. And maybe if things go well for both of us, we can meet up in these later stages.
Yeah, don't I owe you for a seed or something that you rolled in a Swiss?
Probably.
Oh no, wait, no, that was
everybody owes Zoe for one reason or another.
Yeah. There's a lot of IOUs floating out there, especially for seeds that I rolled. I'm pretty sure I rolled a seed for you in like Swiss week 2 or 3 that was kind of spicy that you ended up winning.
Remember that.
But yeah, any last thoughts before we move on to see if we can get Chaos in here for his interview? Because he has also finished with a time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, 44 seconds.
Nope, I got nothing. This was fun. I'm happy to go on the bracket stage, and my competitive gaming club at school finally has something to cheer for rather than just random Smash Brother tournaments.
Well, best of luck next week. I know I'll be rooting for you. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Night.
Again, that was our first place finisher, winner, and progressor to the round of 32, Xalde. Official time again from RaceBot, 1:47:43. GG's out for them. We are going to see Chaos Hades coming in for an interview, possibly. But yeah, that was, again, get your GGs. Follow, these follows are runners too. Runners a follow to. I can do English. I promise. I promise it is a language I speak. Give them a follow. As we are in fact joined by our finisher Chaos Hades. GGs on a very, very straightforward, very well run race.
Thank you, thank you.
So
It
let's. So go ahead, sorry.
It was less ruder than the seed that I did first with the xalde.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. What were you thinking? Because you left the moon before trying that Ogopogo again, and before doing Cave Bahamut. What were you thinking when you saw that Leviathan at Cave Magnes?
What did I think? I was so happy because when I got the Twin Harp, I was thinking a lot to go back directly to do it, but I had only one spot I didn't check, which was the Crystal Altar, and I thought maybe if it's Leviathan, I need to go back to the moon and re-walk to the Crystal Altar, so I did a check. A fast check just before going out, and when I saw it was Galvez, bye-bye.
Yeah, that was a time save for sure. That led to a ninja star, so not taking the Golbez was good. But yeah, I don't really have a ton to say. Your gameplay spoke for itself quite a bit, so I'm just gonna let Dathis take this one while I eat some of my chocolate that he doesn't have.
Why do you have to keep... You know what? For that, I think we need to get a muzzle on Zoe. So the big question I have here. So we see you do the package character check, and you see that Cecil. You're still fairly early in your levels, and you've got the Excalibur for him. What drove you to not take him versus like go and grab him? And you're still looking for a boss at this point. What made that decision?
I really think about it before going back to the moon and before doing the levels. I knew I had the Excal. I kinda regretted it when I did some Siren on the moon, but I was thinking a lot if I wanted to check if it was the boss, if Leviathan was there, but I had no boss check that I did on the moon other than the Cal Bahamut that I knew it was Mylon and friends. So yeah, I could have get it instead of maybe Kane or Sid because it was pretty useless at the end, but to do more damage. But yeah, maybe I missed that part, but for the time it takes to get that character, and when I was at maybe 1 hour 30, so I was thinking maybe he's already ahead of me, but I skipped the character for Cecil, but yeah.
No, that's fair. As you said, it's a long time to invest into a check for maybe not a boss payoff in a character, and again, you don't know how much he's going to pick. So we get to the moon, and you choose to go top down. You did kind of bounce off that Ogo, which you never went back to. So 2 questions here: why start top down, and why also not go and re-challenge that Ogo at the end?
I did top down because it was pretty far in the race, so I thought maybe Zal did bottom up. So I tried to guess it would be shorter, but it wasn't. But and I didn't go back because I had to do some levels first. I should have done some levels first and go back with an easy exit to do a Gopogo instead of going directly before doing some levels. But since I saw it wasn't Leviathan, I wanted to check the other boss to be sure it may be Leviathan at the moon. And that's why I didn't go back. And when I got the Twin Harp, I didn't want to return to a Gopogo and to check if it was maybe something, another key item, or maybe the Pigtail, because I didn't know where it was. But yeah.
No, that's all again good choices. as we know, no choice is bad. Just everyone, it's whatever choice makes the most sense in the moment. Again, you did very fantastic in this race. It's going to be very sad to see you lose in the fashion of the end of the best of one. But I am excited to see you in the future. You're not a name I have seen around a little bit. How long have you been kind of doing Free Enterprise for?
I think it's been maybe 2 years. I was when I began when I think when it was the 2v2 match, or maybe before that. So it's 2 years, something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. He's he has been around for a little bit. I definitely have I saw him in because you were in ZZ3. Yeah, and that's about the beginning of my tournament knowledge because I joined during the Full Gauntlet. But yeah, I always love watching you race. Always been a really strong competitor. Making it to even this opening round of brackets shows that. And I'm excited to see what comes next for you. Because even though this tournament's done, there's always going to be more racing, always going to be more tournaments, and always going to be more Free Enterprise.
Yeah, and the ladder is starting, so...
Yep. Ah, yes.
It's almost like we timed the ladder opening so that people that were getting eliminated from this tournament would have something to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much. GG's tonight. Very well played race, and I'll see you over on the ladder sometime.
Thank you, and big shout out to every one of you. So to make us look good and put on a great show with our race.
Thank you for putting on a great show. Yeah, I think with that out of the way, we do have another race in progress over on the Free Enterprise channel that we are going to send y'all to. That is between Woobear and Slackaholicus. Their first of their best of 3. So that's where we're headed. We have more Free Enterprise tomorrow as well. But until then, I'm going to stop not letting Dathis talk. And I'm going to say goodnight and let Dathis do the same.
Good night, everybody. Again, as we go over, no spoilers from this race. Enjoy, and more Free Enterprise from, I believe this one is Oscar with the restream. So
oh yeah,
you know it's going to be a nasty scene.
it's gonna be great. Have a good night, everyone.
There's no Spoonwood around, so she's got to get that anger out somewhere.
Good night, everybody.